The Kenosha Area Chamber of Commerce has been around since 1916 and is a great resource that helps strengthen and connect our local businesses in the Kenosha area. This past July, former president and CEO Lou Molitor retired, and our guest is now carrying on the torch and leading the chamber to bigger and better things. So on this episode of the Ktown Connects podcast, we're going to learn all about what the Kenosha Area Chamber of Commerce does as we welcome the new president and CEO, Dave Strash. Cue that music.
Kenosha, that great big busy town, right in the middle of the USA, between the New York Harbor and the San Francisco Bay. Well, the wonderful east, the beautiful west, that's the right place to be proud. Sing it so loud of it because we're so proud of it, Kenosha, our hometown.
Welcome, everybody, to the latest episode of the Ktown Connects podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Donny, and I am here with the lovely...
Hi, I'm Jason.
Looking very lovely today, Jason.
Okay.
So, we have a very special guest today that we're going to have a great conversation with, Dave Strash.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this and finding out all about the Kenosha Area Chamber of Commerce and what they do.
And more.
Yes.
Well, right off the bat, if I may, first of all, you both look very dapper today.
Thank you so much,
dapper
Dave.
in your case, Donny. But I want to know why you air quoted special. We can talk about that later.
Oh, we'll dig deep into that.
Yeah.
And we're here recording at Luigi's Pizza Kitchen, located at 7531 39th Avenue. They're open Tuesday through Sunday. Give them a call, 262-694-6565.
You can find their full menu and order online at luigispizzakenosha.com.
And what do we say?
About what?
Order those pizza pies.
Oh, yeah, that's correct. Follow us on all those social media outlets, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we're on YouTube now. Drop us a review on Facebook or on your favorite podcast provider. Help us spread the word about the hottest podcast in town.
And that's the Ktown Connects podcast.
That's right, Donnie. Also look for the Ktown Connects podcast on Spectrum Channel 14 and Kenosha Community Media Streaming Channel on Roku every Wednesday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 5 p.m. So we're on TV now.
I know, we're famous. That's great.
But it's just audio.
Audio with some
pictures.
Yeah, but I mean, we're there. We're on TV. That's a step in the right direction.
We need to get the lips moving inside the photo like Conan O'Brien used to do.
I like that.
What's cargo?
Yeah.
Also want to throw a shout out to Dropping Daisies for that killer theme song.
Great theme song.
It is one of my favorite songs of all time.
It doesn't get old.
It really doesn't.
It's great. It's like the perfect theme song for us.
Yes, and thank you so much, Dropping Daisies.
They took this old song, Kenosha, my hometown, used to be sung by the Tremper Choir, like might still be, and put some guitars in it.
And rocked out to it.
Rocked it out a little bit. Yeah, it does a great
song.
And now they're playing it live too, which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you can show your support for the Ktown Connects podcast by getting your very own Ktown Connects merch, courtesy of the Letter Machine. They have t-shirts, sweatshirts, beanies, koozies, and more.
Wow.
And where can they get that at?
They can find a quick link to our store at ktownconnects.com.
Ooh-wee.
We'd also like to give a shout out to our Patreon supporter of the week. That's Mr. Wings himself, Manny Ramirez.
What's up, Manny?
Thank you, Manny, for joining the after party at patreon.com/ktownconnects. Manny and all of our Patreon supporters get early access to each episode, bonus material, and the critically acclaimed extra show.
Wait a second. Critically acclaimed?
Yes, that's what it says here. I'm just reading what you typed.
Oh, okay, that's right.
I don't know. I don't know who's a critic. Did Roger Ebert give us a thumbs up?
I think he did, yes.
All right. Our bonus show, it's called It Is What It Is, plus so much more. Subscriptions start at just $2 a month, or you can give more, and you can find the quick link at ktownconnects.com.
Whoa. Slow up here for a second.
You know the deal.
It's as low as $2 a month.
Or 5 or 10 or 20.
Whatever you want to give.
But some of our guests give $20 a month.
I know.
Can you believe
And
that?
thank you
They're
all so
awesome.
much. It's great support for us. It keeps the show going.
It makes us want to step it up some. You know?
Yeah, I know, for real. Thank you all so much for that. All right, and we are here with Dave Strash, the president and CEO of the Kenosha Area Chamber of Commerce. Welcome aboard, Dave.
Thank you, boys. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you for joining us. This is going to be some riveting conversation.
I mean, I'm excited. I know that.
Good. All right, Dave, so we're just going to kind of just get to know you in this first segment.
Born and raised in Kenosha?
Born and raised in Kenosha.
Ooh, I see. I like to guess they're born and raised in Kenosha.
North Sider.
Oh.
North Side.
Oh, yeah.
So Bradford kid then?
Bradford. Yeah.
Oh.
Jefferson, Washington, Bradford.
Wow, Red Devil.
Red Devil. Mm-hmm.
So you went to the new Bradford then?
Yes,
You're not that old.
Yes, I did. Not that old. I'm just a couple of years away from that, but yeah. Yep.
Okay. So is that when you had the open lunch kind of thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Where'd you go for lunch? What was
Burger
there?
King.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a hot
Grandma
spot.
Peg was the lady in Burger King who kind of wiped down tables and things and kept all the kids in line. You didn't want to disappoint Grandma Peg, and they had some kind of school deal, eating cheeseburger and fries and a small drink for like $2 or $3 or something. So
So you had to get ready for the big lunch rush for the kids
Right.
coming
Oh,
in.
yeah.
I bet. This is the one on
52nd.
it was on 52nd
52nd
Street. Yep.
Rest in Peace, that
Yeah, rest
Burger
in
King.
peace.
Miss it already.
It's a shame.
Pretty much everything in that area is gone.
Yes.
Yeah. It's,
The Radio Shack, didn't see that one coming. But,
well, it's a shame we don't have any more department stores in town.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
There's no Kmart. There's no Shopko. And, you know,
we could go on.
no
and on
Sears.
about that.
Yeah. We got Walmart and Target. Ooh. And they're not even in Kenosha. They're in Pleasant Prairie.
So, Dave, going
Anyway, getting back to
we
I
were
digress.
sidetracking there. So going back to Bradford, besides the Burger King, what were some of your hangout spots back then?
It was usually different people's houses. We drove the management crazy at McDonald's on 22nd Avenue.
Oh,
hanging out
okay.
in the parking lot. Get kicked out of there a couple times a night.
That's now Auto.
Yeah, O'Reilly's Auto Parts
O'Reilly's.
or something. Yeah,
Hey, let's all do it. O'Reilly's Auto Parts.
I would, but that was excellent. I don't want. Yeah, I mean that was
Yeah, you nailed it.
You.
yeah. So we'd hang out there, and the older we got, who might have been able to get into an establishment or two underage.
Oh, okay. Well, they were all young ones.
Yeah, we were all young ones. I still am. My wife says I act like I'm 12.
So when you were in high school, what was your plans after graduation? Did you have any ideas?
Not really. Actually, I wanted to follow my brother's footsteps. He was a Kenosha police officer.
Oh.
And retired now. And I went to 1 year of police science. I mean, that was what I was going to do. I didn't make a big deal and tell people this is what I'm going to do with my life or whatever. But after a year, I kind of realized heroes of mine, but I don't know if it's my cup of tea. You know?
Yeah.
So got into other things at that point. But
Do you regret it, or are you kind of
no.
decision?
It was the right move. It was the right move for me personally.
So going back to high school, what was your first job?
The first job was actually pre-high school, but in high school I was a stock boy for Walgreens downtown Kenosha.
Oh,
the good old Walgreens.
I missed
Oh,
that
yeah.
Walgreens down there.
Yep.
Did you ride your bike down there? Take the bus?
By that time I was driving. The one prior to that, when I would ride my bike, was cleaning twice a day a charter boat down in Kenosha Harbor.
Oh, wow.
That
Okay.
must have been fun.
That was great.
Oh,
It was great.
Wow.
bet you had the best tan in town.
Right, that and then getting paid twice a day from the charter boat captain, and then you get tipped from the charter boat people.
Oh, so you were that rich teenager.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh,
but
no, always had
we
to
could have
cash.
fun. We could always have
there you
fun.
go.
We always
There
had a
you
good
go.
time. No doubt about that.
So you're a big fan of downtown as a kid then?
Oh yeah, we would go down there crazy days and.
So going on, you kind of got into some of the local publications in town. You had a career at Happenings magazine.
I did that.
You were there for a while. Well, what kind of things did you do there?
Sales. I was in sales and a little bit of, I guess you'd say, management. I organized the sales meetings, and I helped put the magazines together as far as layout and that goes.
Okay.
On a weekly basis, because we chose, this is really exciting stuff. We chose how many pages the overall book would be based on how the ads laid out. You had
Yeah.
to go in increments of 4. I'm probably preaching to the choir. You guys know. You guys know.
Yes,
But,
I worked with you for like 6 years, I believe.
Yep. And I was there 13 years. A great place. Frank and Kim were treated me very well, and my kids, I have 4 kids. They were little at the time, and Frank and Kim were very flexible with the schedule.
Yeah, that's one thing they're really good about.
Yeah, you can't beat that when you got to run a kid to the doctor's office or whatever.
So then you decide to part ways with Happenings.
Yeah.
But you were always into the sales game.
I moved over to the Kenosha News, but I moved over to a different, for lack of a better term, like an innovations company that was under the Kenosha News umbrella. The offices were in the basement, and I'm into sports as well. And so they had this idea. I still think it's a greatest idea, but they overmanaged it. I don't want to say mismanaged it, but they wanted to hit a grand slam with it. They were, no pun intended, maybe there was a pun intended there, but they didn't want the slow methodical growth. They were really into so they'd revisit and reinvent the wheel. We had been out for 2 weeks pitching whatever. We had the pitch, and then all of a sudden it was, scratch that. We're going to do this now.
So you got
virtually impossible to go back.
You got to stick with that.
And but the general idea was us 3 is if we had kids in Little League or small fry basketball or whatever the case may be, something that the paper wasn't going to cover because they just didn't have the people or time to do that. We could go home after our kids' game was over, and whether we won or lost, upload a photo and do a little article on, hey, like Joey hit a home run and the team won 6-5. It was all supposed to be upbeat and positive
and local, and
it was all local.
And
then the paper could come in on the backside, and they did do it here. They twice a week they ran full page ads, or not ads, full page in the sports section.
Oh, nice.
With the little photos and the captions, and
that would still go a long way.
Yes,
if they did that now.
That. Right. And so the idea was to sell that to newspapers across the country and get them rolling on it. And unfortunately, it kind of fizzled. But again, I love the managers that were trying to do it, but they had one thing in mind, and they just
big corporation almost.
I know there was a lot of money invested in it, so I think it was almost like that situation where you get further and further into debt, and now you have to have the big hit to get out of there. And I just wish they would have taken it one step at a time.
A sweet gig.
It could have still been going right now. Anyway, it's a great idea. And so then when the writing was kind of on the wall that wasn't working out, an opening happened upstairs in their advertising.
Oh, okay.
So I did go up there for a while.
Question I want to get to, you always loved the sales game. What made you fall in love with sales?
So I'm going to say I don't love the sales game, and I would be nervous about it. I always, the line I always use is and I'm not an expert at it, and I'm not saying I'm really, really, really good at it, but I always joke that I'm cursed at being good at that.
I like that.
And so when things are going your way, sales is a great place to be. I always had to be me, though. If I'm going to sell you something, Donnie, I'm going to sell you it because it's going to help. I think it's going to help you.
Yep.
And I'll tell you why. And if you don't agree with me, that's okay. But I'll keep coming back to you with maybe a new spin on it or a new idea. I'm not afraid to try and sell you on something, but I'm not the old ice to Eskimo kind of thing. I just can't do that. I'm not saying I'm a saint. I'm not a saint, but I just can't do that.
You got to be honest.
So in radio, it's they even refer to it as the kill. Our local. I want to be very careful. Our local radio stations are wonderful people,
yes,
and they do not do that.
And you do good work.
They do not do that. I work with them. I love Billy Lawrence, and I love the management over there is fantastic. They work very well with the chamber. So now we got those disclaimers out of the way. Way back when,
back in the day,
way back when in Milwaukee, it was cutthroat, and it was almost a shell game. Follow the shells, and if you don't guess the right shell, I'm signing you to a long-term mega contract, and you can't get out of it. And it's
See, that's not both of our style. I don't like selling like that as well.
So you're new in your position at the Chamber of Commerce, but you're not new being involved with the Chamber. How did you get involved with them originally?
So my first sales job after Walgreens downtown in high school was Jones Intercable.
Oh, now we're dating ourselves.
Yes, we are. I'm in sales there, learning the sales ropes, and nervous as all get out because we're doing role playing, and then I had to go out on my first couple of sales calls with my manager, who's still a friend of mine to this day. And it was a great place to work. And he suggested that I join the Kenosha Retail Association. And that was an arm of the chamber.
Okay.
There was a lot more local mom and pop shops back then.
Yeah.
And they had their own little group within the chamber called the Kenosha Retail Association. And so you had to pay a little bit of an extra fee to be in it or whatever. And so I'd go to their meetings and contribute. And they had an event or two. Be honest with you, I can't remember what the events were anymore, but they had an event or two, and I would volunteer there and, prove my worth, so to speak. And lo and behold, and I know this will surprise you, the radio stations were on that, and the newspaper was on that, and the bulletin, it was called the Midweek Bulletin at the time, was on that. So everybody's doing it for the same reason, but I really enjoyed it. And and it wasn't in, selfishly speaking, it wasn't in with some of these retailers that if I go in unsolicited, they might not give me the time of day. Now they know me and they would talk to me, and then they potentially buy some television commercials back then.
Yeah.
And so then that spurred into, because I did volunteer my time. That's, someone says, hey, we have these ambassadors. You should be an ambassador. And more or less, it's kind of a cheerleader for the chamber.
Okay.
But it's really, I shouldn't say that. That's oversimplifying. But it's if we have a business after 5 or an event, and you guys came and you were standing alone in the corner, not really working the crowd like we hope you would, an ambassador's probably going to come over and introduce themselves and say, what do you guys do? And that. Well, you got to meet so-and-so over here.
Get the ball rolling.
And introduce you, and then you'd be surprised what good things happen after that.
I like that.
And again, I met more people, more business owners, and that was to my benefit, right?
Yeah.
So then after that, and I never asked for any of this, then someone says, we have an opening on the board of directors. Would you consider joining the board? I said, sure. What's involved and all that. So I got on the board of directors, and I was on it for 12 years.
Wow.
You can do it you can do it in 2-year terms up to 12 years if they'll A, have you back, and B, you want to continue. And so then I thought, well, I'm done. I put in my time, and I'll still. You don't have to be an ambassador. You don't have to be on the board. None of that. You can be on, if you're a member of the chamber, you can be on our committees, like we do the expo and things like that. So I don't want anybody to think you have to do what I did.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just the way it happened for me. And so I said, well, no, I'll still be on the expo committee, or I'll be on this and that, but I put in my time, so to speak. Well, 1 year goes by, and all of a sudden my phone rings, and it's Lou. And I figure he's calling about the expo or something, and he goes, well, you've been off for a year now.
Come back.
We'd like to have you back on the board. I said, there's nobody else that can do that. But I believe in the chamber, and I believed in. And I also, once again, knew it would benefit me to be as involved as I could be. So I said, sure. And that led to I was chairman of the board for a couple of years and all that. And now, mind you, that isn't the normal progression.
Yeah.
We don't groom the next chamber pres.
Right.
They've all come from outside the area up until me now. I interviewed for it, and
you broke the mold.
I broke the mold. But, there's nothing wrong with that mold. But at the same time, most of them in history have come from outside somewhere.
Okay, interesting. Well, I think we're going to take our first break right here, and we'll be back with more on how Dave became the president of the Chamber of Commerce and what actually does the Chamber of Commerce do.
Yes.
That's a darn good question.
More after this.
All right, and we are back from that break. And what a break it was.
That was my line. And what a break it was.
And we're here with Dave Strash, the president and CEO of the Kenosha Area Chamber of Commerce. You can check them out at the website, KenoshaAreaChamber.com. You can go visit their office, 652nd Street. Give them a call at 262-654-1234 and check them out on Facebook and LinkedIn. And now let's figure out what the Kenosha Area Chamber of Commerce is all about.
Well, how'd you such a great number? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, that's
well, I guess you've been around since 1916, so I suppose.
Yeah, they probably had, and for me, that's lucky because that's an easy one to remember. So I'm happy with that.
So, Dave, I got to ask, what made you apply for the job of president and CEO?
Well, I worked closely with Lou over the last few years, and I had a few ideas in my head, and I just thought, well, if that job ever did open up, I'd probably throw my hat into the ring. And I'll say a little bit of it was timing. Mm-hmm. Timing was perfect, and I do have a plethora of ideas, new ideas, and trying to take what Lou did and the successes he had and build on those. But we do have some new things we're going to be.
Yeah, when I heard the job was opening up, you're the first person that I thought of. I was like, Dave would be great for that.
Thank you.
And I think I even messaged you. I was like, hey, I heard you're getting this job. And you were like, you didn't reply to me till like a week later. Like, I just couldn't say anything. But I kind of want to get to know a little more about the chamber.
Okay.
So what does the chamber actually do? We have so many, organizations in this area, and sometimes I get them confused. CABA, Visit Kenosha, DKI,
right,
BID.
Right. So the chamber, and it can vary from community to community. Mm-hmm. A lot of communities have a chamber of commerce, mm-hmm. and they can be all the organizations you just said in one, or a community, if it's big enough, will have a separate, like I would call CABA, an economic development
mm-hmm.
firm, and they do some things along the same lines as that we do. We don't get any funding. I'll cut to the question, which is we're a member-based business organization.
Okay.
And if it weren't for our members paying their annual dues, we probably wouldn't be in business. We don't get any funding from the city, state, county, and that's not. I'm not crying about that. It's just
the way it is.
They don't not give us anything because they don't like us. We work very closely with them all. But it is not a government entity. It's a privately run thing. So we need our membership to survive. Okay. And then our main focus, I'm oversimplifying here, but is I want to, if you guys each own businesses that could help each other, I want to create scenarios where you're going to run into each other at a chamber event, and you're going to find out that you could benefit each other. Oh. So networking, right? Mm-hmm. Sounds oversimplified, and why do I need to belong and pay a membership fee for that? It's a lot more than that. We do have a foundation that we raise funds for through events and things that we give away a minimum of $10,000 with scholarships every year to $2,500 to 4 local graduates. Wow, they have to apply for it. They have to write an essay for it. And then we have a committee that reviews them.
So about how many members you have?
We currently have 685.
Wow. And those are all businesses? Or are they?
Nonprofits, businesses and government agencies, things like that.
Wow.
Yeah, but mostly businesses.
Okay.
That's quite a bit.
Now, besides the networking aspect, what are some of the other advantages that my business could have if I was a member of the chamber?
So we do, we do events, Kenosha Expo, these aforementioned business after fives.
Can't forget about those ribbon cuttings.
Charter fishing. Don't forget them ribbon cuttings. Those are important.
I love those photos.
We bring the ribbon.
Very good.
And a gigantic pair of scissors, which I dad joke every time that I brought the small scissors. We all laugh. And then I say, don't run with scissors.
Where do you get a super large pair of scissors like that?
I'm not sure. I inherited them with the job, so I'm very grateful.
Do you guys have to keep them in a safe place
in
the office?
We do. In case somebody like you shows up.
I would totally come in.
I know you would grab them.
I would. I just want to photo op with them.
But you as a member, then you can sponsor some of these events, get additional exposure. You can rent a booth at the expo. We have a minimum of 5,000 people walk through the door over that weekend. You're a live billboard there. A lot of business gets done there.
And that expo is crazy busy, like you said. I mean, it is. I go to it every year. Mm-hmm. It is a fun time. Network. You see how many all these other businesses are around.
That's one of our events that draws the public out to see our member businesses that are involved, because we do a lot of business to business. But another thing, one of my initiatives, if you will, is I'm creating more. How do I get more public out to the retailers and those that sell direct to the consumer? And then we're going to do more things business to business as well. So those are some of the ways that you can benefit from it. We do a business directory every year. You're going to get listed in there twice, alphabetically and categorically. We distribute those to all the membership, and we strongly encourage using fellow members.
And that's online and in your chamber
online and in
publication.
And there's an actual physical publication.
That's yearly, correct?
Annually, yes,
Annual.
yes, sir. Yeah, I'm sorry, yes.
And
yearly.
you got the new one coming out soon.
It's out right now.
Oh, it is out already.
It's out right
I
now.
have to pick one of those.
We were able to put it on the everybody's chair at the annual meeting we just had.
Very nice.
And that's usually when we try to launch it. And so there's member benefits involved that you pretty much need to be a member to do that. Now we also will dabble into non-members taking advantage of a situation or two, but that's in hopes that they then will join the chamber.
Okay, I'm sure the dues kind of are according to the size of the business, but just give me a ballpark figure if I had a business with maybe 3 or 4 employees, like a small mom and pop shop. What am I looking at?
That's an easy one, and that's the majority of what we have. It's $290 a year. So it's a little
very
over,
reasonable.
Little over like close to $25 a month, I believe.
Okay.
So maybe the Ktown Connects can join.
Ktown Connects would
Hey,
be.
there we
we
go.
would love to have Ktown Connects join.
Huh.
It's $290 a year, so it's not a budget breaker or a bank breaker.
Yeah.
So then you mentioned the chamber is nonprofit.
Yep.
So then you work directly with the board of directors, correct?
Yes.
So you have to answer to them.
Yes.
So it's pretty much you were one of them.
Yes.
So now you're listening to
Yes.
them.
Yep.
How does that work? Do you guys work together very closely, or?
Yes, we do. A short answer. Longer answer is I have out of the
Who do you
board-
hate on the board already?
All right. Well, let me get on my list here. I got a list. I hope they're listening.
The board members are volunteer service, correct?
All volunteer service.
Okay. So how many staff does you employ?
We currently have 2, but
Is that including
just
you,
had
or is
somebody-
are you?
No, we have 3 including me, and
Okay.
we will have a 4th. We had a 4th. She retired. I must have came in too strong. No, she actually was. She's a sweetheart, and she was on the verge of tears telling me. And I said, "It's okay." And she said, well, "I don't want you to think it's because you started." And she said, "I'm actually having second thoughts, but no, it's time for me to retire."
Yeah.
So we have a new employee hired, and we'll be starting November 8th.
Oh,
so
very
we'll be
nice.
back to 4 November.
And then the good old Mike Mertz.
Mike Mertz.
Oh, I love that guy.
Phenomenal.
He is so
who
good.
doesn't?
So how can people get involved with volunteering with the chamber?
So we have all kinds of committees for every event that we put on. It has its own little committee to help plan that.
Okay.
As if we didn't have the committees and volunteers doing that, then myself and my staff, that's all we would be doing.
Yeah.
It's all we'd be event planners.
Yep.
I mean, we kind of are. I mean, that's a good chunk of the job. But with the committees, we oversee them, but we don't tell them what to do. It's kind of their baby, know. And so you can get involved that way. You can become an ambassador. They have a little bit of a, I don't want to say application process, but a little bit of they want to know that group really takes it to heart. And God bless them, because without them, the guys who aren't talking to anybody at a business after 5 or an event,
Right.
They're not networking, would remain that way all night, and they'd probably walk away going, I'm not going to get anything out of
Right.
it. I'm a member of the chamber. So it's been a tight-knit group for many, many, many years. So they do a little vetting of their own on anybody who wants to become an ambassador. It's not difficult to become an ambassador, but they want to make sure you're gonna give
Yeah.
to give to receive kind of thing. And then ultimately, we try to have a diverse board. And what I mean by that is not just race, color, and creed, but we like to have a representative from the banking investment industry. We like to definitely have people from the retail
Or mom and pop
shop. We have so many great continuing education facilities in this town, educational schools between Carthage and Parkside and Gateway and Herzing. And if I'm forgetting anybody, forgive me. But they all are active members of the chamber. So we want them represented on our board. So you don't there's no necessarily step-by-step process to get to the board. It doesn't hurt if you've been on a committee or an ambassador. Chances are you might get asked when an opening, because people do turn over after their terms are done. They might be like, I love it and I want to help, but I can't put in the time of being a board member.
Yeah.
So we'll lose a couple a year maybe. This is actually the first year in a long time that at our annual meeting, we only had to approve the slate. There were no new members because everybody agreed to be renewed this year.
Very nice.
So we do have openings there, though. We kind of keep it a little bit below our maximum in case we need to add somebody. We don't want to be full up, you know. And this is a very active board, and they care very much about the business community at large. So,
all right. So I want to talk about this. Dave, you and Bill Lawrence, you do Spotlight on Kenosha every other Friday morning on WLIP.
Yes.
6:45 a.m. in the morning.
yes.
And you focus on one of your members. What time do you actually have to get up in the morning to prepare for this?
6:44.
So just call in kind of thing?
Yeah, it is a call-in. It is a call-in.
That's nice.
So we like to do it every other week if possible. And quick plug, we have openings here yet before the year's over.
Yep. See their see the website.
Yeah,
get all the details there.
So that is a paid item. We pay the radio station, and then our members pay us to cover the cost. But they get 15 minutes of fame, if you will, because I mean Billy Lawrence, give me a break.
Right.
Yeah.
But during the week leading up to it,
There's a lot of commercials
yes,
promoting it. Yes.
yeah, that, and during the week leading up to it, they the guest gives some feeder questions to
Oh, okay.
how they'd like it
So
to
it's not like this show.
go. No, I'm beating with sweat right now. Bright lights shine in my face. I can't even see these hosts, by the way. Those of you who are listening, the glare. But
That's not a light that stir ego.
yeah, I appreciate it. I'm a big fan. But so they kind of know going in. Goes well. Billy and I go way back to Jones Intercable.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Him and his wife
Now
were there.
that's some history. Well, Dave, you know what? You can go back and check out that because it is also available on Apple Podcasts. You guys have it out there to go back and check out all those businesses that you and Bill interview. And go back to the Lou days as well.
Yep.
So you can find Spotlight on Kenosha on Apple Podcast.
Oh, cool.
So hit that subscribe button to that while you're listening to the Ktown
Yeah,
Connects podcast.
absolutely. Listen to Ktown Connects first.
All right.
And then maybe you switched over.
There you go.
Come on.
I mean, we're an hour, you're 15. So,
Right,
you
well,
know,
that's
I mean, you got,
But this is riveting. Come on.
right. Riveting.
Are you kidding
here.
me?
All right, Dave, I got one more question for you. What are your long-term goals for the chamber, for you personally and for the chamber?
So I want to grow membership, and I want I don't know how you quantify it though, but I guess it'll just be feedback. I want to know that the membership is happy with my efforts. They're willing to renew every year. It's almost a no-brainer. That's my hope. You're going to have attrition. People go out of business. People move out of town. I told you already about some of the more corporately owned stores that they come in and they join for a year and they're hot and heavy for a year, but then they kind of back off after that year because they're established, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would love them to be a member again because they were a great member. But does Chick-fil-A, do they need anything?
Right.
I mean, you drive by there and their drive-through line is into the Stanton
I'm in the wrong business.
Stanton Optical, showroom.
Right.
And but it would be great to have them be members, and I still think they would get benefit out of it. And I'll be talking to them. That's still the same ownership. I'll be talking to them to see if I can get them back and that kind of thing. And I don't mean to single them out, but I'm not afraid to admit. And that's why I say when I go to talk to people, I say, not going to try and hard sell you on this. I just want you to check it out and see if it is your cup of tea or not.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that how it can be your cup of tea, whether you think it's not or is or not, but it might not be. It's not for everybody. Nothing's for everybody,
That's
right?
correct.
Nothing is for everybody.
So I got a question. Do you cover just the city of Kenosha or all the whole county?
Thank you for that. Thank you. So that was part of my opening remarks at our annual meeting. We are the Kenosha Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm going to emphasize area. I wouldn't mind a rebranding and a renaming, but I don't think that's wise on one hand. But we're the chamber of the entire county.
Okay.
There is a chamber, a long-running chamber in Twin Lakes that we get along with, and there's a reciprocal agreement and all that. And that's absolutely fine for them. And we hold no grudge against them. And as far as I know, they hold no grudge against us because it's strictly their little community based thing. And there's we have members from outside the area as well.
Okay.
But we serve the Kenosha community for the most part. That's our focus. But we're the chamber of the village, proud to say the village of Pleasant Prairie, of the town of Summers, west of the eye, Wheatland, Salem, Bristol, Trevor, Paris, you name it. We are the Kenosha County area chamber, really.
Okay.
But we do have that stigma, and that's something I'm working on as well. There's one of my long-term goals.
There we go.
I want the guy who's got the restaurant out in Wheatland to think, yeah, the chamber does things for us. And hopefully you guys will see sooner than later that will happen.
I like that.
That will happen more and more. We have members out there, and we have members from the village of Pleasant Prairie, and we have members from Summers and all surrounding areas. But it's fewer and farther between.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's because the office has always been located in the downtown area or whatever, and you kind of grow out from your dwelling, right? But I'm going to get out. That's what I was referring to earlier. I want to get out and shake hands.
There you go.
And I'm going to be really concentrating on those areas. So thank you for that question. That's very important. Yep.
All right. I think with that, we're going to take our second break, and we'll be back with some Kenosha Connects.
All right.
And we're back from that break.
And what a break it was.
If you could only hear what goes on during the break.
And it's time for our Kenosha Connects questions.
That's right. Kenosha Connects is brought to you by the Downtowner Saloon.
Mosey on over to the Downtowner Saloon, 707 56th Street, for some mouth-watering Southwest-inspired foods made in their scratch kitchen.
That's right. Dana and Terry bring their home cooking to downtown Kenosha. The Downtowner Saloon offers up memorable briskets, original rubs, and the greatest smoked meats in town.
Stop on by and enjoy a fantastic meal, or just have a few cold ones.
Avoid the typical restaurant and stop into the Downtowner Saloon for something different. They're at 707 56th Street.
Yee-hoo! All right, Dave, you ready for some Kenosha Connects?
As I'll ever be.
All right, what was the last great meal you had in Kenosha?
Last great meal I had in Kenosha?
Mm-hmm.
I had out. I'm assuming you're saying out, correct? Not dine in.
Anywhere. Any local great
Well,
restaurant.
actually, today at lunch I had a delicious pita wrap. Or I'm sorry, a gyro wrap at Waterfront Warehouse.
Oh, very
Delish.
nice.
Yeah.
That
Delish.
sounds excellent. They do great stuff there at Waterfront.
What's your favorite Kenosha event?
Ooh.
And not say the expo.
Don't say the expo. No. All right. After the expo, it would be. I do enjoy a lot of the church festivals. That's just old school, and it's just fun to go to those community things.
I like those as like a neighborhood gathering kind of thing.
It is. It is. It's very cool to go to those. But I'm just trying to think of one event. Actually, my favorite is, my kids were involved in it, is the KUSD Jazz Fest. They do one indoors. It's coming up in later this month, I think, or early November. At ITA.
Oh,
and all the jazz bands from all the schools, middle school and high school, are there.
Okay.
My kids were involved in that, and they still are. And then they do have the KUSD Jazz All Stars, has a one night down at Kemper Anderson Center, for that grouping. So that's fun.
Cool.
All right, favorite famous Kenoshan. There you go.
Nice. Right answer. Where in Kenosha would you recommend someone go for a first date?
Ooh, submarine races. That's where I took my wife.
Submarine races? What's that?
They're not real, but that's what you would tell people.
Oh.
Go park down by the lake.
Oh, really?
First date in Kenosha?
Use that one.
I don't know. I might go mini golfing at Action Territory, or I might go to the movies. Don't really have. I mean, we have high school sporting events, but you have to have the right date for that.
True.
Any one of our fine eateries in town after whatever else you do.
A good Kingfish game.
Go to a good Kingfish game in the summer.
Those are
there's all kinds of great things to do. Yeah.
So.
All right. Favorite local place to see a band?
Public Craft Brewing.
Mm-hmm.
Seen TG's. TG's actually has had. It's narrow in there, but have had some good bands. There's so many places, and my mind goes all a scramble.
That new spot at Public is awesome.
Yeah, he's done a great job.
Matt does great there.
Great job.
All right, what's your favorite museum in Kenosha?
I'll say the Civil War Museum, because I know the the curator there, or I'm not sure what he does. He's a fellow football official with me, Doug Damon. But actually, I enjoy, especially when the kids were little, we enjoyed the actual history museum or
the regular
public
museum. Okay,
they do a great job. They all do a great job.
Yeah.
I know it's so great that we have so many museums in our town.
Yeah.
It's awesome. All right, favorite pizza place in Kenosha. I know this is a tough
not
one.
fair. It's really not fair.
Well, it changes every.
Your favorite pizza place this week? How about that?
All right. I really enjoy. This is really politically incorrect, you guys. I really enjoy Ruffalo's too.
Oh yes, great place.
Growing up, and it's still a go-to Villa de Carlo.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing, that thin crust is unbelievable.
I know.
But then there's good old Durango's, and it just goes on and on. Cas Capri is fantastic.
They can never name one, can they? Never. None of our guests can ever name one.
Hard. There's so many. Well, oh my God. Forgive me, Luigi's Pizza.
Yes,
one of my absolute favorite. You know what is a Strash family favorite? Mm-hmm. The cheese ravioli here at Luigi's.
Oh, it is really good.
My kids beg me when we order, or not if, when we order here. Can you please get a couple orders of cheese ravioli? So we always do.
I don't think I've had that. I should try that.
Yeah,
oh my God.
It is really good.
So good.
All right. How about your favorite park in Kenosha?
As an adult, probably Pets. As a kid, it was because it was close by. It was Kennedy Park that rolled into Simmons Island, kind of thing. That whole area, that whole Lakeshore Drive kind of thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We used to do things we weren't supposed to do, like jump off the rocks.
When we were teenagers, that was like the place to hang out down the lake. We just drive our cars up and down that loop, back and forth. And I don't know what the kids do now. They sit at home and TikTok each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, they what?
Yeah.
You know what they do?
TikTok. TikToker. I barely even know her.
All right, where can I get the best burrito in Kenosha? You're a burrito man, right?
Love me a burrito.
Oh, me too. I know. So many again.
So when I go to La Fogata, I go with tacos every time.
Oh.
Okay.
But their burritos are good.
Yes.
Very good. But sirloin tip burrito at Tacos El Rey.
Ooh.
Different experience.
Wow.
So I say it looks like dog food, but brother, it don't taste like dog food.
It do not.
I love their chicken, actually. The shredded chicken they got there is excellent. Tacos El Rey.
I want to try
the sirloin tip.
Sirloin tip burrito.
For sure. All right. When's the last time you rode the streetcar?
Probably been a couple of years.
Yeah.
That
happens.
When kids were younger, we would definitely do that.
Yeah.
All right. Which now closed Kenosha business do you wish you could bring back?
For personal reasons and just great people, and really enjoyed their store because I'm a football fan, was Something Different is closed.
Dan.
I got to get back in touch with Dan and see what his plans are for the future.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how is he doing?
I got to check in with him. I'm guilty of not having checked in with him since I took this position. So,
who is your favorite personality on WLIP?
Billy Lawrence.
Yeah, I like Bill.
All right, and which Kenosha bar do you think you spent the most money at?
Speaking of going back to your past days.
If I can go back, I definitely, it's actually kind of easy. There was, it was called the Fifth Amendment. It was owned by the same guys who owned the Shenanigans. They switched them over to Shenanigans eventually, but it was called the Fifth Amendment on 60th Street. And
but that Shenanigans are by the rail tracks?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Wow.
that was the Fifth Amendment. And we would we'd close it down on Friday night, and then we'd get up for college football Saturdays. They had what was called dollar burgers. I think they still do, but it's I'm sure it's not $1 anymore. Dollar burgers. We'd watch college football there, and then we'd all go home, take a nap, shower, and then we'd go back out and close it down Saturday. So I spent a lot of money.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
Cool. All right, and the final one, Big Star of the Spot.
Big Star.
Yeah, all right.
I do love me some Spot.
Spot's great.
But gun to my head, I'm going to Big Star.
All right.
All right, and that was our Kenosha Connects, and that was brought to you by the Downtowner Saloon.
And what time is it now, Donnie?
Ding, ding, ding. It's trivia time, and trivia is brought to you by Captain Mike's.
Are you on the hunt for a fantastic burger? The kind that arrives at your table and you have to say, wow.
Well, stop on by Captain Mike's, 5118 6th Avenue for a great meal and ask them about their Burger of the Week special or try their specialized mac and cheese.
But it isn't just food. Captain Mike's offers up great drinks and a fabulous gin lineup. Because, you might not know this, Dave, but gin is in.
Oh,
Gin is in. And be on the lookout for the Captain Mike's food truck serving up your favorites at many special events throughout the year. And it's not too early to book them for your 2022 summer events.
Yeah, you better get them soon. Book the Captain Mike's food truck, see their Burger of the Week, and their full menu at CaptainMike'sPub.com.
All right, it's trivia time.
I spent me some money at Captain Mike's,
Yeah.
and they do have some unbelievable burgers.
Yes,
I mean,
they do.
Macaroni and cheese, too.
I mean,
Very-
everything that they
very
do there
good.
is fantastic. Jeanette and Mick.
Do they
run
still
it.
have the topless, like the mermaid in there? And the
Yes.
not that I've ever looked.
No,
of course not.
I heard that
They have a great gin menu as well.
a gin is in. I did not
Yes,
know that.
yes.
I didn't either, but yeah, I guess it is.
That's like a T-shirt. Someone's got to make that.
Yes,
T-shirt.
yes, gin is in.
All right, guys, time for trivia where we pit our guests against Donnie. Well, Dave, you are a lifelong Kenoshan. You kind of get into a little Kenosha history. You're the president of the Chamber of Commerce now, so you should know a little bit about Kenosha.
A little bit.
A little bit about its history. So this is about Kenosha history trivia.
Okay.
And this is multiple choice. I'm not going to try and really kill you on this stuff.
All right.
So I got a chance.
So we got 5 questions for each of you. I'm going to start with Donnie to kind of see how it works. Donnie, which one of these was not one of Kenosha's industrial giants in our early years? A, Hill Steamboat Line, B, the American Metal Company, or C, Frost Manufacturing?
C, Frost Manufacturing.
You are incorrect. The answer is B, the American Metal Company. I made that up. All right, Dave, here's a softball one for you. Which of the following was not a former name of Kenosha? Southport, Pike River, or Pike Creek?
I'm going to say Pike Creek.
No,
It's Pike River.
River.
Darn
So
it.
close. So
I knew it was
close.
50-50.
Yeah. All right, 0-0.
Stupid.
Donnie, number 2 for you.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Jockey International has been in Kenosha for well over 100 years.
Sure.
What was the company known as prior to taking the Jockey name? Was it A, Cooper and Sons, B, the Mitchell Lewis Company, or C, Allen and Sons?
Allen and Sons.
Incorrect.
Oh,
It is A,
I'd like
Cooper
to steal.
and Sons.
Oh, okay.
You knew it though?
Yeah, I was
All
Cooper
right.
dang it.
We've talked about that before.
I have a memory like I don't know. I got nothing.
All right, Dave, come on, you got this one.
All right.
The name Kenosha comes from Kenosia, a term coined by a group of Native Americans. What does the word Kenosia translate as? Is it A, Sight of the Sun, B, the Good Land, or C, Place of the Pike?
Be the good land. No, that's not my answer. Is Milwaukee.
From Waynesboro.
We all know that from Waynesboro. I'm going to say C.
Place of the Pike.
Oh.
Yes.
And it was a softball because it kind of piggybacked off my first question. I appreciate that.
Well, yeah.
I
Help
appreciate
our
that.
guests out a little bit.
Yeah.
Donnie, here's an easy one for you.
All right. Good.
In what year was the first local post office established? 1836, 1838, or 1840?
1840.
No,
What?
1836.
I was
No
so
idea.
close.
No idea.
Yeah, that's what I give. That's why I say for Donnie. All right, Dave. This is a modern question here. You should know how Kenosha operates now.
Sure.
Alternate street parking begins in Kenosha on December 1st, just a couple weeks from now. When does it end? March 1st, March 15th, or March 31st?
March 31st.
You got it.
Hey.
I was actually going to say April 1st, but yeah, March 31st.
I should have thrown that in there.
Ooh.
All right.
Because for April 1st, the first day you don't have to do it
Right.
any longer. Yeah.
I would just wait for the cars. I'm like, oh, okay.
Dave is up 2-0.
Dang it.
Donnie?
I got this.
Visual effects supervisor and Kenoshan Jim Rigel won 3 Academy Awards for his work on what film trilogy?
Oh,
Was it
Blade.
the Star Wars prequels, the Matrix trilogy, or the Lord of the Rings trilogy?
Lord of the Rings.
You got it. You're on the board.
Correct.
All right, Dave. Question 4 for you. Kenoshan and pro football fullback Alan Amici played his 6 NFL seasons with which team? The Chicago Cardinals, the Baltimore Colts, or the Cleveland Browns?
Baltimore Colts.
You got it.
Hey.
Alan the horse.
I was hoping you get the football question.
Yeah.
Donnie, last one for you.
All right.
Come on, Don.
Come on.
In what year did former Miss Kenosha Laura Kepler serve as Miss America? Was it 2012, 2014, or 2016?
14. No. What was
13?
it?
Were you going to say 13?
Yeah, 13.
No, that wasn't an option.
It wasn't an option.
2012 is the correct answer.
Ah!
All right, Dave, well, you're up 3-1, but here's the final question just for fun here.
Yeah.
Simmons Field was built in 1920 and hosts to which All-American Girls Professional Baseball League team? The Bells, the Peaches, or the Comets?
The Bells.
No.
No, that was Racine. It was the Peaches.
No.
Comets.
It's
Kenosha
because it
Comets.
was the
Yeah.
That's my answer.
All right.
Final answer, Comets.
And Dave, you are the
I'd like
winner
to
of trivia. What does he win, Donnie?
And Dave, you win a free coffee from Harborside Common Grounds.
Yes.
They are located at 5159 6th Avenue in beautiful downtown Kenosha. Common Grounds is a great coffee house with unbelievable view of Lake Michigan with tasty sandwiches, delicious espresso, and of course, great coffee drinks. They're open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. and it's right across the street from your office.
I
Walk across the street
I have done that.
and say hi to Bobby for
I
us.
love Bobby. And if you're lucky, you run into Rennie Krushnelli.
Yes.
I don't know if you're lucky. He's there all the time.
Yeah. but
Well, he is.
I consider it
he's
still
a
lucky.
living Kenosha legend,
Love
Rennie
that guy.
Krushnelli.
Yep, that whole family.
I just wish he would play some music live. I talk to him almost every day. Come on, play. What will it take?
I do
How
the
much money
same
will it
thing.
take?
The same thing.
Just he
Said I'm
won't,
jonesing for some old junk. I'm jonesing for some Brother Six.
he just won't do it. He just
No.
won't do it. Well,
Well, I'd like to thank Dave Strash for being on our show. He is the
Thank you,
president
Dave.
and CEO. Do you need two titles, president and CEO? That's what they give
I
you,
didn't
huh?
choose that.
Of the-
it looks good on the business card.
Right,
You
yeah.
know.
Of the Kenosha Area Chamber of Commerce. They're located downtown at 652nd Street, Suite 130. That's just west of Common Grounds.
Mhm.
You can find them online at KenoshaAreaChamber.com and give them a call at 262-654-1234.
Love that phone number.
Yeah.
Can't thank you gentlemen enough.
No,
Hey.
thank
This
you, Dave.
opportunity.
It was fun to reconnect with
Yeah,
you.
Great
so to
talk.
speak.
Great
Yes.
talk with you. So one last time, we have to go through our sponsors. We have to thank Captain Mike's,
The Downtowner Saloon,
Bluehorn Digital,
Union Park Tavern,
CarBox,
Lucci's Grandview,
Faded Barbershop for Men,
Wink Beauty Boutique,
Luigi's Pizza Kitchen.
and of course, Harborside Common Grounds.
Wow, well, Donnie, that was a great episode.
Yeah, I learned so much about the Chamber of Commerce. I'm well educated now.
We'll have to talk about possibly being a member. you know?
Yes, I think the Ktown Connects podcast.
Maybe
should.
we'll talk about
We'll have a
that.
business meeting about it,
All right,
and then
well-
we'll get back to our main man, Dave Strash.
All right. But anyway, besides that, what else are we doing here?
I know. We are connecting Kenosha.
I'm from Kenosha, I say Kenosha, that great big busy town. Right in the middle of the USA, between the New York Harbor and the San Francisco Bay. I'm from Kenosha, I say Kenosha, that great big busy town. Right in the middle of the USA, between the New York Harbor and the San Francisco Bay. Well, the wonderful East, the beautiful West, that's the right place to be proud. Sing it so loud and big because we're so proud of it, Kenosha, my hometown. Give me a beer. No. Oh.
Music's cued.
That's awesome music.
I know, great,
I
right?
love
I know,
it.
it's just a jam and a half. Oh,
God,
good.
Dave,
good.
shut up.